What I want to quickly show you are adjustment layers. I'm not sure how much you got from the actual lesson. So here I have my picture from this school year, and I want to put an adjustment of color change somewhere on my picture. So this little half and half circle gets us to adjustment layers. They are layers that are going to go above my photograph. They won't hurt my photograph because they're on a layer above it, and I can continue to adjust and change them as I desire. Lots of benefits. So say I want to change the colors in this picture. I'm going to go down to hue and saturation. The word hue is another word for color. Saturation was one of our words. That means we can put more of the same color. We can help it absorb more colors, the purity of color. So I'm going to click on hue and saturation, and our properties panel changes to this little dialog box. This has several different movers and adjustables. This one is for hue, so I could just kind of keep changing, and all of a sudden I change, the background, my clothes change, all kinds of things change with me. Okay. You have your saturation, and notice the saturation normally by default kind of starts in the middle or down a little bit low. So I could saturate more of the same colors that are already there, or lessen them, and all of a sudden I have a black and white photo. And then I can lighten or darken some of the colors that just already exist. See, I'm lightening or I'm darkening. Okay, so those are some of the basic dials and movers. It worked with what we call the master colors, all the colors in the picture. Okay, my cheeks tend to be kind of rosy red, so I could come in here, and instead of using and changing all the colors at once, I could say, let's look at just the reds in the picture, and I might want to just decrease some of the reds in the picture. You see how I dropped the reds, and say, okay, that's fine. Now look over here, I can click on my eyeball. That was normal, untouched. And here's my edit, right? I probably dropped too much of the red out. I did that just for a dramatic reason so you could see the difference. But the hue and saturation allows me to play with all the different colors in the picture. Another cool feature that it has, I'm going to turn that off. Let's say I want to do another one. Let's do hue and saturation again. Only this time I want to click the colorize button right down here. Look what it did. It turned the entire picture into one color. Monochromatic is what we would call it. All of the lights and the darks of just one color. It starts normally with red over here as a default, but I could like move my slider and choose different variations of this. Okay. I can also, again, adapt how much of the intensity of the color or saturation that I'm getting from my photograph. I can work across the whole rainbow spectrum there. I can also decide whether I want to lighten the picture or darken it based on my colors. But this plays all just with one color, and you choose from the slider which hue you want to work with. Cool? Okay. Next little feature. Notice how I'm turning these off. So they affect the layer below them. So if I tried to turn this one on and this one on, it's doing two things at the same time. Okay, so this color change affects every photo below it. So if I have more photos below it, all of the pictures would become blue, basically. All right, I'm going to turn this one off here. And real quick, I want to show you one last one that's super helpful, levels. Okay, levels shows you the light, the gamma or the grays in a picture, and how much black is in the picture. Right now it's not showing much in the way of black. There's a lot of dark grays, but if I wanted to, I could kind of boost the darkness of the picture. There's not much in the way of brightness. I could boost a little bit of the brightness in the picture, but watch what happens when I change the grays. It brightens if I lessen the grays, and it darkens if I add more grays. Isn't that crazy? So grays have a lot more change to them than if I'm just moving these little guys around. Okay, so gamma is super helpful. So sometimes a picture just needs a little bit more balance, all right, in its lights, darks, and especially its grays. There you go. There's sort of an overview of some of the basic things of our actual adjustment layers. Again, they're all temporary. I can go back to all of them and change them as I see fit.